you gotta, it's really starting the advertising campaign started when we started the Indiegogo campaign, because people saw us again and they're like, okay, yeah, they look the same.
Right.
They know,
What from now to so we're at release? When did you exactly start? How many years ago was it?
We crowdfunded it in, I guess, 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's about right. It was right. Yeah. Kevin and your partners, Kevin and Steve, came through.
And so we had a goal of 2 million, and that's sort of a, you set a goal. I mean, that's not low, but it was, we set it there,
right?
And we got there in 24 hours, and then after 30 days, there was still some giving after the initial campaign ended, but I think we're at about 4.7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and 54.
Director get a healthier cut with that?
No.
The way Jay just dropped his head, he goes,
here,
no,
like,
no.
54,000 people put money into it,
right.
And
that's so exciting.
It was, it was thrilling. Now the problem was that wasn't enough to make the movie. We needed at the end of the day, the film ended up being $13.5 million. So we needed to raise the rest.
Right.
And the way crowdfunding works is if you raise all that money and you don't spend it in that calendar tax year, you get taxed on it.
Oh, wow.
So we had to go into production and spend, a good portion of it on, we basically shot for 6 days and then raised the rest of the money through private financing.
Oh, wow.
So we had this we were taking, it was a high risk move to even try crowdfunding. If people didn't crowdfund it, then Fox would have been like, we're not going to release, nobody wants to see it.
It's a punch in the gut, too. It's obviously very important to you, too.
Yeah.
And it's creatively and then also financially getting turned down.
Right. That would have been the end of it. Right. But the other big risk we took was we took that money and used it to shoot 6 days.
Right.
Now, if we couldn't raise the rest of the money, we'd be in jail.
I'm trying to think, how does that, and then I don't, the prison time is a bad thing, but then also being the guy who played in Super Troopers in a jail, having jailers go, hey. Yeah,
well, you don't want to be a cop in jail, right?
No, even a perceived cop.
That's right.
That's trouble.
But
too.
I bet we get a good Broken Lizard movie out of the jail time. I think we could come up with a pretty funny.
I think we get points on that too because you're part of the process.
Okay.
Is that I noticed that too with people that show interest. I think you walk that super interesting line of appealing to those you're parodying. I feel like you have a good law enforcement following that people are into, like, haha, that's great. But then also you have the stoner mentality or there's a bunch of different people that really enjoy this film. Is that the truth, or have I just heard a few good examples?
Half our crowds, if you go to Helium tonight, you'll see half the crowds are stoners and the other half are cops. And they're sitting side by side.
Party in its own, yeah.
Theoretically laughing at the same jokes. It's an amazing thing. We thought cops would be offended or that they would arrest us with more frequency.
Right. Oh, that was cute, huh?
But
right.
they seem to love it, and they, like when we occasionally will speed or whatever, they'll walk up, they'll go, can we take a picture? And there's no ticket, right?
Yeah, certainly.
When I was shooting Dukes of Hazzard in New Orleans, we shut down the 10 freeway to do a jump of the Generally. And so we had tons of cops. We were just shutting down so much traffic, right? And
is this okay? Like, you can literally do anything.
Well, the cops, like, do you want to drive the Generally as fast as it can go and I'll give you an escort? And I'm like, sure. And so the chief of police came out that day, and he gives me his card. He goes, son, you get into any trouble down here in New Orleans, you just, you give me a call. And he goes, anything short of murder. And then he goes, actually, murder's okay for you too.